Hey, welcome back to the techyned blog. Hopefully, what we've shared before, they've been of good use to you. Kindly subscribe, comment, and share. And yes, just like we mentioned, that we are transitioning from business analysis to Scrum, then project management, and now we're going to create a balance between the three. So we are currently transitioning into Scrum, and the last time we're looking at Scrum Guide by scrum.org. And the last time we looked at the definition, we looked at the transparency, inspection, and adaptation. And today we are going into Scrum values. So, yeah, successful use of Scrum depends on people becoming more proficient in living five values. So when if you want to be successful in using Scrum, it depends on you as a Scrum Master, as the development team, becoming more proficient in living five values. And those five values are commitment. You have to commit, you have to focus, you have to be open, respect, and courageous. Okay, courage. So a Scrum team commits to achieving its goal and to supporting each other. So the Scrum team, okay, we are starting with you. So you commit to everyone commits to achieving the goal set aside and also supporting each other in the team. Their primary focus is on the work of the sprint to make the best possible progress towards these goals. So your focus should be the work of the sprint and also focus to have your focus on the goals. Okay. The Scrum team and its stakeholders are open about the work and the challenges. So if there are challenges, if there are issues, you are open-minded, you are open about it. Scrum team members respect each other. You have to respect one another to be capable. So you respect the other person to be capable to to do whatever tasks they have been given to do. Independent people, so you are independent, okay, and are respected as such by the people with whom they work. So they should be respect, they should be have that sense of belonging, sense of independence. Also respect each other, that you have the other person is capable. Okay. The Scrum team members have the courage to do the right thing, to work on tough problems. Yes, like whenever you are given a task, you have that courage that you are able to do the right thing. The other person has the courage in you that you are able to do the right thing. Okay. And also to work on tough problems. If there are tough problems, you come together, brainstorm, you're able to work that out together. And also you all have courage, you all have that respect, you all have that open-mindedness and all whatnot. So these values give direction to the Scrum team with regard to their work, actions, and behavior. So you're able to live these values. It gives you direction in terms of what you're supposed to do, in terms of actions you're supposed to take, and in terms of your behavior, your attitude, okay, towards the work, towards your team member. The decisions that are made, the steps taken, and the way Scrum is used should reinforce these values. So whatever that is being done in the Scrum team should reinforce these five values, okay? Not diminish or undermine them. No, it should bring it out there. It should, make it resonate and stuff like that. Now, the Scrum team members learn and explore the values as they work with the Scrum event and artifact. So as you work with the Scrum event and artifact, you learn and explore these values. Certain things happen, certain actions are taken, certain, squabbles and all stuff's not happen, and you are able to learn and even put those values in practice. Okay, when these values are embodied by the Scrum team and the people they work with, the empirical Scrum pillars of transparency, inspection, and adaptation come to life, building the trust. So now, when you are able to live by these values, when you're able to practicalize these values, you now see that the empirical pillars of Scrum, that is the transparency, things are now transparent. You have courage that your fellow team member can do this. You commit and all whatnot. You now start seeing the pillars of Scrum being like you now see it that it is obvious that we are transparent because I have courage in you. I trust you to be independent, and you now see that inspection. Oh, something is wrong. The transparency, sorry, that something is wrong. We think we need to look at this. That is transparency, right? And that means you are having courage with your fellow. You are courageous, or you have faith in your fellow team members. You are open with your team members. Is you being transparent, okay? And when it comes to inspection, you guys are looking at things together. You've committed to this. You've gotten to that line of like looking at it together with your product owner to make sure that it's done. And adaptation. And oh, okay, we think this is what we want. We think we can take it off so that we can move over to the next sprint and stuff like that. So you see that when you when you when you live by the five Scrum values of commitment, focus, openness, respect, and courage, you see more of transparency. You feel more of that, like that trust. Okay, when you now do your inspection and adaptation, you know that like you are practicalizing what you need to do, and you see result, or you feel results. Now, Scrum team. The fundamental unit of Scrum is a small team of people. A Scrum team. The Scrum team consists of one Scrum Master, one product owner, and developers. Although of recent we now call them development team. Within a Scrum team, there are no sub teams or hierarchies. This is very, very important. Out of your Scrum team, out of your development team, there are no hierarchies. There are no sub teams. There is no team leader. There is no tail or head. It is a cohesive unit of professionals focused on one objective at a time. The product goal. So this is just like a unit of professionals. You have your developers, you have your testers, you have your architects, you have this and that, but all in one team. Okay, you call them developers, you have your product owner, you have your Scrum Master, focused on one objective at a time, the product goal. Scrum teams are cross-functional, meaning that members have all the skills necessary to create value each sprint. So you have a team of professionals that are cross-functional. Okay, that means you have all the skills that are necessary. They are also self-managing, meaning they internally decide who does what, when, and how. So remember these two things. Okay, the Scrum team, they are cross-functional. That is, they have all the skills, and they are self-managing. They are independent, meaning you guys decide, like for example, when your product owner comes and, oh, we need this to be done, maybe the product backlog, or like you create the product backlog, now you have the sprint backlog. Now it is now depending on you. After you must have like asked him, okay, you set your priority as this and this and this. So for us to achieve this for you, for example, for us to build you a marketing tool, a marketing website, or for us to build you whatever you want us to build for you, this is the way we are going to, this is the approach we are going to take, this is the way we are going to do it. We are taking this first, we are taking this. Do you understand? So you know what to do, when to do, and how to do it. The Scrum team is small enough to remain nimble and large enough to complete significant work within a sprint. Typically 10 or fewer people. They are telling us like how many people you need to have in a Scrum team. 10 or fewer people. You guys is like a small unit of people. You are small enough to remain nimble and large enough to complete significant work within a sprint. So yeah, in general, we have found that smaller teams communicate better. So they are telling you in general, we have found, that means from their research or from the observation or from people already doing Scrum, that they have found that when the smaller the teams are, the better the communication and are more productive. So, when you have so many people in a Scrum team, for example, when you have like more than 10 or even like up to that 10 or stuff, you see that, oh, to get this person to communicate to this person and stuff like that, you have so many people working on something at the same time. And there is so much risk too to that as well. So that's why they're telling you that the smaller the team, the better their communication and more productive they are. So if Scrum teams become too large, they should consider reorganizing into multiple cohesive Scrum teams, each focus on the same product. So if you feel that you have like, oh, we need more hands and stuff like that, okay, or for example, oh, I think we are getting too much in this team. Maybe the best thing is your developers, they look at a way to divide, or the Scrum team, the Scrum team, you would have that discussion to know how they can, divide so that they at the same time they are working on the same product, but at the same time you don't have too much people in a team. Okay. Therefore, they should share the same goal, product backlog, and product owner. So remember, when you have that Scrum team dividing, they should share the same product goal, product backlog, and product owner. Now, the Scrum team is responsible for all product related activities from stakeholder collaboration, verification, maintenance, operation, experimentation, research and development and anything else that might be required. So I'm going to take that again. So the Scrum team is responsible for all product related activities from beginning till end. You're taking this up, you're taking up everything. So whether it is to do your, let's say, technical documentation, it should be the Scrum team. Whether it is to manage your stakeholder collaboration, it is the Scrum team. Whether it is to do the verification, it is the Scrum team, because you have your product owner there, okay, doing the verification. You have your testers within the Scrum team doing the testing, the verification, maintenance. So is it continuous improvement? Is it like operational stuff? It is the Scrum team. Experimentation. Oh, do we need to carry out an experiment to see if these work or not? It is that same Scrum team. Research and development. Oh, okay, we have this work to do, but first of all, let us go out of our way to see what other people have been doing. You're trying to research, and also development, maybe developing the solution. Okay. And anything else that might be required should be the Scrum team. That is why they said it is cross-functional, okay, and you guys are self-dependent. Now, they are structured and empowered. Structured and empowered. So by the organization to manage their own work. So they have the power. They have they have been empowered to do their own work without, getting all those like, you guys must do it this way, we want it this way. No, they are independent. Working in sprints at a sustainable pace improves the Scrum team's focus and consistency. So working in sprints without pressure, without, oh, we have a fixed timeline, you guys must meet this, okay, or not, or if you don't meet it and stuff like that. So they have velocity, they have their, how they track their velocity and stuff. So when they are working in sprint at a sustainable pace, sustainable, like not under pressure and or whatnot, it is structured. It improves the Scrum team's focus and consistency. Remember, your sprints within 2 weeks or a month, that's 4 weeks. So the entire Scrum team is accountable for creating a valuable, useful increment every sprint. So not only that they are self-reliant or they are skilled, but they are accountable for creating a valuable. So at the end of each sprint, everyone is expecting value, something to churn out, an increment, useful increment every sprint. So Scrum defines the three specific accountabilities within the Scrum team. So you have the developers, development team, you have the product owner, and you have the Scrum Master. So let's look at the developers. Developers are the people in the Scrum team that are committed to creating any aspect of a usable increment each sprint. So developers are, resources or people in the Scrum team that are committed to creating any aspect of a usable increment each sprint. So they are the ones creating those usable increment, churning out those, and making all the development that is needed for each sprint. The specific skills needed by developers are often broad and will vary with the domain of work. So, whatever they do, they are never the same. So it is either this or that. So whatever skill is needed by the developers are it's broad, so you can just narrow it down, and it varies from work to work. However, the developers are always accountable for creating a plan for the sprint. So that is the sprint backlog. So when you have your product owner, when he has refined the product backlog, when he has prioritized it and stuff like that, and now you now have the sprint backlog, you is now the like you now have to create the sprint backlog is now like the developers that will now come to create a plan for the sprint, because already we already know what the developer what the product owner has created on the product backlog and what he expects us to achieve in the sprint. So now the developers will now create a plan on how we are going to achieve that this sprint, and that is the sprint backlog. Now, instilling quality by adhering to the definition of done. So in each sprint, we have the definition of done. What can we say? At what point can we say that this product is ready or it's done? Or like a checklist. Oh, let me not use that checklist. Yes. How do we say that we are done with this product? Okay. Yeah. Adapting their plan each day towards the sprint goal. We have the sprint, we have the stand-up meeting. So each time they meet, they are looking at what they have done, what needs to be done at the blockers. So they are now looking at the definition of done. They are now looking at the sprint backlog. They are now looking at the goal that has been set for the sprint, and they're now adapting towards their plan to make sure that they are all in line. So that is adapting their plan each day towards the sprint goal and holding each other accountable as professionals. Very important. That is why you have that value of commitment, courage, and all whatnot. It helps help the developers rather. And then you have the pillars of transparency, inspection, and adaptation. So they hold each other accountable, and they help each other, they watch each other's back. Okay. Product owner. The product owner is accountable for maximizing the value of the product resulting from the work of the Scrum team. So when they say maximizing the value of the product, it's telling you like ensuring that this product, we enhance it to the best of our knowledge. Okay? That it will do what it won't just do what we want it to do, but more, much more. And that will be from the work of the Scrum team. How this is done may vary widely across organizations, Scrum teams, and individuals. The product owner is also accountable for effective product backlog management. So the product owner is responsible for managing the product backlog. That means if he has to manage it effectively. Effectively means that he needs to refine it, he needs to monitor it to make sure that okay, we've done this, so we have to like put it somewhere. These ones are yet to be done. We need to look at this. Okay, I think this product, this task may not be relevant anymore. We can just like put it in the back parking lot or just remove it entirely. But some wouldn't want to remove it because you don't know if you're going to use it tomorrow and all whatnot. So that is effective product backlog management, which includes developing and explicitly communicating the product goal. Yes, you develop the product goal, and at the same time you communicate it to the development team. or the Scrum team, because you need them to understand the goal of this sprint or the goal of this product so that they know what you want to achieve, the value you want to get at the end of the day. Now, creating and clearly communicating product backlog items. So you create the product backlog items and also you clearly communicate what is in the product backlog, what you need them to, do for you. Now, ordering product backlog items. When they say ordering product backlog, that means arranging product backlog items according to how it will give you value, ensuring that the product backlog is transparent, visible, and understood. So, making sure that if you say this is what I need during the sprint, you don't say this is what I need and okay, make it clear. Tell us what you need. Okay, don't have anything hidden. Don't try to smuggle things in and all whatnot. Then make it visible and understood. Use the most simplest language. Don't be ambiguous. Now, the product owner may do the above work or may delegate the responsibility to others. Yeah, regardless, the product owner remains accountable. So he is accountable for what is in the product backlog, but he can delegate it to someone else, maybe the Scrum Master to help out, or yeah. But at the same time, he is also always the person people come to ask questions and all whatnot. For product owners to succeed, the entire organization must respect their decisions, which is very important. We don't need people, coming over their head, to get to the developers that, oh, this product you guys are building, I will need you to add this or that. No. The decision lies with the product owner. If you need something to be done, you go through the product owner, okay? And that also the organization should learn to give them the power or the authority they need as well, so that they have confidence in what they do. The Scrum team also would have confidence in them as well as the organization that they can do their work. So these decisions are visible in the content and ordering of the product backlog and through the inspectable increment at the sprint review. So these decisions are visible in the content, what you have in the product backlog and how it's ordered, and through inspectable increment. At the end of the day, we are supposed to do the sprint review at the end. Yeah, at the end. So the product owner is one person, not a committee. The product owner may represent the needs of many stakeholders in the product backlog. Those wanting to change the product backlog can do so by trying to convince the product owner. So the product owner may represent needs of many stakeholders. So since this is how it works, here is the organization on one hand, here is the product owner, then you have the product owner as a member of the Scrum team. So the product, remember what we read at the beginning, you can also check out the last video, that the product owner is the person that orders the work of the product in the product backlog. Okay, so for example, an organization employs a product owner, and at times the product owner can be part of the organization or someone else out of the organization. But the thing is, there is a product owner and they want to have a website that can help them audit how much comes into the company. Okay, they explain everything to the product owner, and he owns the product at the stage. Okay, and maybe at times even the product owner may be the person that even brought the idea, or and brought the idea, and he or she is now taking the product through so many phases of changes and all whatnot. So the main thing is that the product owner understands the product in and out. Okay, then now the product owner now takes this product, okay, takes his understanding of this product or what he needs to be done to this product and puts it in the product backlog. Then he now arranges it in such a way that it would, whatever is picked to be worked on by the Scrum team or the developers and the Scrum team, it gives value, okay, at the end of the day. So now he now takes it to the making sure it's clear, and communicatable and stuff like that, transparent. Then he now takes it to the development team to work on. Okay, so that's why you have to have confidence in him. That's why you have to give him that authority so that whatever he works on or whatever he does and stuff like that, he would have that confidence in himself as well. So, the Scrum Master. Now, at this point, I think we can take a break so that the next time we come back, we continue with the Scrum Master. But meanwhile, just a reminder that we've gone through, let's see, the Scrum values. We talked about the 5 values of commitment, focus, openness, respect, and courage. We discussed that. Also, we looked at the Scrum team. So we have Scrum team being typically 10 or fewer, and you have the Scrum development team, you have that's the Scrum Master, the product owner, and the developers. And then we looked at the work of the developers, we looked at the work of the product owner, and the next time we are going to look at the Scrum Master. So I don't want us to rush this. So see you. I hope this has been of good use to you. Take good care. Bye.